karena OPM yang satunya itu masih dibawa rekan yang lain. Nah, sehingga untuk kesempatan kali ini kita akan coba menggunakan laser biasa ya. Oke, ini ujung yang satunya dikupas saja mas, biar ini kelihatan. Oke, ini disingkirkan dulu splicernya. Lalu kita akan coba tes menggunakan laser. Jangan lupa colokkan di FFL ya. Kemudian ini nyalakan FFL-nya. Oke, kita cek apakah sudah nyala atau belum. Nah, jadi dari coba dipotong pakai cleaver mas, biar kelihatan cahayanya itu fokus. Oke, jadi cahayanya seperti ini ya, sudah fokus ke satu titik. Itu artinya kualitas dari sambungan tersebut sangat bagus ya. Karena terkadang itu gini, kalau di dalam splicer itu sambungan loss dB-nya itu 0,1, itu belum tentu sambungan tersebut itu bagus di kualitas jaringannya. Ketika sudah dicek menggunakan OPM dan sinyal yang keluar itu dari konverter ataupun OLT ya. Jadi harus dipastikan benar-benar. Oke, saya kira cukup untuk tutorial kali ini. Jangan lupa klik like dan subscribe untuk mengikuti video-video kami selanjutnya. Dan semoga video ini bermanfaat untuk teman-teman semuanya, khususnya bagi para pemula seperti saya ini. Dan jangan lupa bagikan video ini ke rekan-rekan yang lain ya, sehingga nanti juga bisa bermanfaat untuk orang lain. Oke, terima kasih. Salam kreatif.
introduced to John Bruno, who will first present a short review of fiber optic theory. How light travels through glass and its resulting advantages is why the fiber optic technology exists. Short excerpts from a Corning-produced video provide insight to how the fiber itself is produced. Chapter 1. Fiber Optic Theory.
And we talk about an English philosopher by the name of John Tyndall. He performed an experiment around 1870 that led us to fiber as we know it. So his experiment did not involve the typical fiber that we know of as glass. He had an experiment where filled a basin full of water, and we know that the smallest particle of light is a photon. And what he did is he shined light onto the surface of this bucket, let's say, of water. We know what happens when light reflects off of the surface of the water, right? We get the photons bouncing away as a reflection. But we also get where the photons will actually enter the water and they will bend a little bit, what we call refraction. And at this point, in 1870, they all knew about refraction and reflections. This is nothing exciting. Tyndall didn't discover this. But what Tyndall discovered was when he pulled a stopper from the side of the bucket, that allowed the water to obviously flow down to a lower basin. The genius of his experiment is he noticed that those photons of light that refracted into the water, they would actually continue and migrate themselves down into this lower basin. This was this whole experiment. And in 1870, not quite sure what he was going to do with it. But if we look forward to fiber optics, this is really the concept of fiber here. The water is doing what we call total internal reflections. The light will stay trapped between the barriers of the water. And we've got this from Tyndall. The difference we know is that we don't make fiber out of water. It'd be easy to make the cables, hard to splice and connectorize. So what we do is we've replaced this medium of water, and we replace it with glass. Why would you choose to run fiber instead of a copper cable? There's several different advantages to running a fiber optic cable. Let's take these one at a time. Really, the number one reason, and I'll be honest, if bandwidth was the only advantage fiber had, we would still use it. Number two, low attenuation. So you look at low attenuation, low loss, right? We're talking about low attenuation ultimately gives us longer distance transmissions, right? We can transmit longer distances. Number three is a big one. Number three can be, if you look at EMI and RFI, electromagnetic interference, radio frequency interference. Interference is an issue when we talk about copper cables. Fiber is not susceptible to these outside interferences. Number four, a little more obvious, I guess, would be size and weight of the cable. Why is size and weight an advantage? Well, if you look at the size of a copper cable and a fiber optic cable, and you look at your conduits and the things that you run your fiber in, there's a fill rate. And the last one, number five, is safety and security. Okay, so now I want to talk about something we call index of refraction. Index of refraction refers to, basically we talked about light and how it's a sine wave. It refers to the speed of light through a medium. Most of us consider the speed of light, if you're watching like a scientific program, they refer to the speed of light in light years. The speed of light is not a constant number. Now, the number that we are familiar with is about 186,000 miles a second, which is about the equivalent of 300,000 kilometers a second. We always consider that the speed of light. Truth be known, that is the speed of light in a vacuum. That's the fastest anything can travel, truthfully. Einstein told us that is the theoretical maximum speed we can achieve. We've yet to prove that wrong. Index of refraction is basically equal to the speed of light in a vacuum divided into your medium. That's how we get the index of refraction value. It's a ratio, basically. So if you look at it, I just mentioned speed of light in a vacuum is 300,000 kilometers a second. And if we divide that into 300,000 kilometers per second, obviously that's a 1.